manipulation, temptation,
What else?
and ignorant nation. Okay, that's what we're about to get into today.
Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I said hey.
Hey.
Welcome back to my channel.
Hey, Jazz.
Hey y'all, I'm Jazmyn W. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So excited to have y'all back. Y'all know I like to jump right into it, but first I must let you know, if you are back at my channel and you haven't subscribed, baby, you a hater. I want to let you know first and foremost that is the truth, okay? And then second of all, I must let you know that, I do announcements at the beginning or whatever, that I am performing in Dallas on Martin Lawrence's Lit AF tour. So if you're in Dallas and you're going to that tour, if you were thinking about getting tickets to the tour,
It's lit.
I will be doing a little set there. So go ahead and get your ticket and get there on time, okay? I haven't even announced this on Instagram or nothing like that yet because I got time. It's like November the 12th or something like that. But YouTube family, I thought I would go ahead and let you know. So appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Anyway, y'all, I don't want to do another hour video, but you know what? I'm just going to let the spirit guide me, okay?
What spirit?
Let's go ahead and do like we do every week on my channel and start with what?
The most boring couple.
Exactly. It's hard this week because every single couple has some drama, okay? Every single couple has some drama, and I'm trying to figure out who is the most boring couple.
None of them. You.
Ooh, it's hot up here in this... It's hot in this little room I be doing videos in, y'all, okay?
You gonna say that every week or you gonna do something?
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Let's go ahead and start with the Republican and the redhead.
Let's get into it.
The Republican and the redhead. We ended the episode with them. We can start with them.
Hold on. Are you gonna be drinking juice? This ain't live. Can we just get to the review?
Got me a little drink today. Okay.
We see.
So... First of all, I wrote down the redhead is afraid of everything. She was afraid to go down a hill on a ATV or whatever it was on, honey. Okay, girl. You got to be a little bit more adventurous, redhead. Like,
Got to.
it's just a hill. Kids ride these in Texas, where I'm from, child. Anyway, I wrote down Ryan really does peak when he's in his element. We have seen him peak a couple times. When he played golf, I almost forgot he was a white man, child. I said, okay. When he was...
I almost liked him.
Doing all the athletic stuff, he really does come out of his shell during that moment. But unfortunately, he is like a tortoise, honey, because after that, he goes right back into his shell, okay? When they had the fishing lines out into the water, he was outside of his shell. When they were laying on the blanket, he was right back in his tortoise shell. So... yeah, it didn't last very long, so it's not exciting at all. It looks like Ryan feel like he hanging out with his teacher.
Okay.
You ever stayed behind in class for tutoring, but you the only one in tutoring? So now you gotta just like hang out with your teacher with just y'all two, and you don't really like it. It's a little uncomfortable. Ain't nothing fun about it, but you gotta do it because you want to pass. That's how Ryan acting right now with the redhead to me. Yeah.
His auntie.
That's how he was looking when they was laying on the blanket and reading each other their little letters to themselves or whatever. Anyway, I wrote down Ryan thinking about somebody else while he's laying down on the blanket. And this was before the dating app thing, but we're going to get to it.
He was thinking about the hoes.
So the redhead wrote a letter to herself, kind of like a love letter, like, oh, you're beautiful, all of these things with all of these affirmations and stuff. It was cute or whatever. And Ryan wrote a letter to himself about his friend that he missed so much. Then he said, hey, you got married at first sight.
The end. End of story.
It happened. Not yay, it happened, or it was fun, or it was a good experience. You did it.
That's it.
Okay. Ryan needs to go to therapy.
Immediately.
In fact, drink every time I say therapy in this episode, okay?
Y'all already know.
You should do that on my channel regardless. You should drink on my channel every time I say therapy anyway, if you want to make it fun. But drink every time I say therapy, okay? Starting now. And Ryan need to go. He need to go to therapy, okay?
With an extra P. 2 P. P-E-E. T-H-E-R-A-P-E-E.
After they got home, the redhead was supposed to show the Republican her pictures from her childhood or whatever. And she said she didn't feel like doing it because she got a text from her friend that showed that he matched with one of their friends or her friend or whatever.
A blonde.
That showed that he's still on a dating, or he is on a dating app. The Republican said, "Oh, I just signed up today. It's not active." So you mean to tell me before we went fishing and had this quality time together, you signed up for a dating app?
In the morning.
And you set it to be active the day after we were supposed to do decision day.
Trifling.
And you couldn't wait a week.
He couldn't wait another minute, honey. He ready for Reese Witherspoon.
And you couldn't wait a week.
Nope.
You know what? I'm sorry. The disrespect. If you don't like the redhead as a wife, that's fine. If you don't like hanging out with her and she doesn't click, she doesn't, really do it for you, that's cool. But the least thing you can do is just respect her.
Period.
You have a week left and you can't even respect her enough to just wait it out? She's such a sweet person. Ryan literally deserves all of the sadness that he's swimming in because he's just not nice. And you know what? It's his daddy's fault and his sister not nice. His mama didn't look nice. Nobody in his family seemed nice. So I see where he got it from. But I just think it's unacceptable.
It is.
He said he downloaded it today. Who the F cares if you downloaded it today, Ryan? I don't care if you downloaded it when I was in the bathroom. I don't care if you downloaded it on the way home in the Sprinter. You shouldn't be downloading it. And if you downloaded it, what, you reactivated your profile that you already had or what?
Yeah.
Y'all know I don't know how dating apps really work, but I mean, like, just because you downloaded don't mean you had to sign in.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Once he got called out, and she should have went in on him. And you know what? It makes me really disappointed in the redhead because she should have went off.
Period.
This should have been the moment where she really went off on him and ripped him a new booty hole, but she didn't.
Man.
And I don't have respect for her for that.
2 booty holes.
Most people would say I respect her for for not losing her temper. She deserved to lose her temper at this point. I would have told shit up like Michaela at that point, because it's not even about you liking me or not liking me. It's about the disrespect, like the lengths you will go to just not give a damn about somebody else's feelings. It's just ridiculous.
It's the audacity.
Anyway, Ryan packed his PlayStation and left. He said, well, I guess I'll get out of here. Like, the audacity. And then had the nerve to try to show the producer his phone to show that he wasn't talking to anybody. We don't care.
At all.
We don't care. Leave. And don't come back. And take your nasty, big, hairy, shedding everywhere dog with you.
Yeah, take Spot with you. Shoot.
Was I too passionate?
You always are. Let's move on.
One thing Jose taught me this episode is I'm from Texas, right? But I don't know all like Houston and all the areas around there, but I've heard of Pearland, Texas. I never thought it was Pearland, Texas. I always thought it was Pearland.
Girl, you can't read.
People call it Pearland.
No, they don't.
People don't call it Pearland. Do they?
It says pear.
From Texas, let me know. Do y'all pronounce it Pearland or do y'all pronounce it Pearland? Because we pronounced it, growing up, I thought it was Pearland. That's the way people used to say it. But anyway.
I thought you just said it like that.
But Pearland makes more sense. Anyway, I wrote down, Jose looked so uncomfortable in front of his parents' house for some reason. I don't know if that brought him a little anxiety. When they looked at inside the house, Jose said that, they was poor because, they had built the house. They used to eat rice and beans. And Rachel was like, oh, I thought we ate rice and beans because we Hispanic.
Right.
Like, right? My dad was texting me during this episode. He was like, who the hell got a house but think that they poor?
Okay.
If you guys, my dad made some really good points when he was texting me during this episode, because it does show you that people's perceptions of not having money are very different. I think a lot of people of color who live in the U.S. and who are first generation, when they say they grew up poor or didn't have money, they have a house, they have meals every day. Like when my dad thinks about being poor, and you know, he's African American here in the U.S., he's like, we didn't have no house. We had an apartment. We got welfare. We was in the projects. Like, what? Who has a house and think that they poor?
Right.
You know, Bao, for example, her family lived on 2 acres and she grew up poor. How y'all got land but y'all poor?
Okay.
Like, that didn't add up to him. And I see exactly what he was thinking. So when Rachel was comparing her vision of poor, like, she's like, what are you comparing it to? Because if y'all were able to build this house, it had multiple rooms. It's not like what Mirla grew up in. Like, how are you poor? And y'all had rice and beans, baby, because that's what all the people eat who ain't even American.
Period.
If you going to school in Pearland and you going to school with like white kids and stuff, and they're eating steaks and stuff for dinner and stuff like that, and you see them driving nice things to school, your perception compared to them will be that you are poor, right? You know, I didn't grow up poor. We were like middle class, but the people that I went to school with had way more money than I had, right? I wasn't about to buy no Abercrombie jeans, or I wasn't about to buy no little True Religions and nothing like that. But, you know, would I say that I was poor? No, I just didn't have money in comparison to the people that I went to school with. So maybe that's what Jose experienced. I know that's a little tangent there. But the last thing I'll say is everybody who not from the U.S. eat rice and beans. Like,
everybody.
Baby, you're going to eat, if you're Nigerian, Ghanaian, you're going to eat your jollof, okay?
That ain't how you say it.
If you're from the Caribbean, you're going to eat your rice and beans.
Okay.
If you're from Asia, you're going to eat your rice. Like,
that's what non-Americans eat.
So, you know, it's just a cultural thing is what I was thinking too. But anyway, Rachel revealed at the end of the episode that when Jose locked her out of the house, she packed her, called her, Rachel revealed that when Jose locked her out of the house that night, that she called her ex-boyfriend and he picked her up and she stayed with him.
Ooh, ooh.
Now, let me just give my opinion on this. I saw a lot of women on Twitter saying, oh, she didn't have a choice. Where else was she supposed to say? She had to do what she had to do. No.
No, ma'am.
No. Because if you lock your husband out right now because y'all have an argument, he called his ex, do he have to do what he had to do, or is there other people he could have called?
Other people. Let's keep it real.
Some of y'all rationale don't be right. I think that there were many other things that Rachel could have done to, instead of calling an ex-boyfriend and having him come pick her up. And even if she did, let's say she called the ex-boyfriend and had her come pick him up, why didn't she tell Jose that immediately after the situation?
The next day.
She should have told him that when they were arguing. Like, I had to call a friend, I had to call my ex because they lived the closest and they had to come get me. All because you locked me out.
Okay.
When they made up, she could have said, you know what? Thank you for apologizing and all of that, but I do have something to tell you. Because you locked me out, I had to call my ex. You waited weeks and weeks until afterwards, after the situation, like there was something to hide about that.
Because there was.
And you know what? I don't really like that she did that. I'm not going to say that that's acceptable at all. When you're married, you have plenty of other options. If you're going to keep your ex as an option, baby, don't get married.
Period.
Because your ex cannot remain an option when you're married to somebody. In fact, I would even say same thing for committed relationships. Who wants to be in a committed relationship with somebody and you keep running back to your ex every time we have an argument?
Nobody.
Whether you get locked out or not, to be honest. Baby, if I lock my husband out, guess what? Go get a hotel.
Period. Swipe the Visa.
You ain't got no coworker you can call?
Call Scott.
Hell, I don't care. Just you don't call no ex. Yeah, that was pretty much it on Jose and Rachel. Let's move on to Mirla and Gil. Okay, Gil took Mirla.
They the most boring though.
To the place where he used to live and where his father was shot. I wrote down, wow. What a vulnerable moment. I almost cried.
Almost, yeah.
Because Gil, that was just such a vulnerable moment for Gil. And I think he has to care about Mirla a lot to take her there. He said he's never taken anybody else there. And it's not about, I'm sure it's not about him taking somebody else there. It's about the emotions that come up for him. He has to feel really safe in order to share that with somebody. And the fact that he could share it with Mirla was just really, really touching to me. It was touching to me. And I thought it was amazing. I thought it was so sweet. And I really feel for Gil, watching his father die, being the one that called, 911, riding in the ambulance with him, and then finding out that his father died, and then his reaction of being like, okay, as like a young kid, I can totally, see how that played out in my head, like a movie. But I really feel for Gil, and I'm really proud of the person that he is now. Gil's not perfect, but you know what? It could have been a lot worse, because it takes a strong person to move forward after something like that. So I really just applaud Gil and the person that he is after dealing with something like that.
We love Gil.
I wrote down, I think Mirla, she could work on her vulnerability a lot, I think, I'm not trying to say that when Gil was there showing the house, like she wasn't there for him or something like that. I think of course she was, they were holding hands and stuff. But I think that Mirla still has some walls up, and she probably doesn't realize it. And she could probably let those down, and she probably will. It hasn't been that long, but it's just such a vulnerable moment for somebody that, you want to hug or embrace. And I think that Mirla still has like some walls up that she could probably let down, or try to let down in order to share in that vulnerability with Gil. Dr. Jazmyn. Anyway.
Dr. Jazmyn.
Mirla also showed Gil where she lives. She grew up in a one-room shack. That's poor to me. Like,
right.
That's pretty. There's multiple of y'all in a one room, and it makes me understand. Like Gil was like, that's no excuse for liking high rises and stuff. It is.
It is.
Like, one thing I like to do is I like to go to Goodwill and look around. And my mom grew up poor, so she's like, I don't like to go to Goodwill. All of my clothes was used growing up. I don't want to look at no used clothes, and that's how my mom is. So I understand why Mirla likes the things that she likes. So yeah, I totally get it,
Like nice hotels.
Anyway, I also wrote down some people want to forget where they came from. Gil said that Mirla needs to remember where she came from. I don't think you forget, right? But I think what Gil is saying is that he wants Mirla to be more, sympathetic to people who didn't pull themselves up by their bootstraps or whatever, like she did, right? It's sort of that, he wants her to remember that it's not easy, and not everybody is going to or is capable of doing exactly what she did, and to be able to sympathize for people in that position. I think that when you become successful, some people are able to sympathize and some people are not. I have a lot of sympathy for, I'm able to really sympathize with people in my community who aren't just able to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, because
right.
We never know what people go through. We really never know what people go through. So, but I think Gil wants Mirla to have more compassion, and she could have a little bit more compassion. I agree.
Yeah, for him.
Now, the thing that I don't agree with, is Gil telling Mirla that she needs to cut down on the shopping.
Let's get into it.
Listen, me and my mom talked about this on commercial break. I said, let's say that Gil made $100,000 a year, and Mirla makes $200,000 a year.
Okay.
And they both agree to save. They're in Texas or whatever, so maybe after taxes they're gonna take home around, I don't know, they're gonna take home around, let's say $65,000 a year. Gil will, and she's gonna take home what, $130,000 a year.
Okay.
If they both agree to put the same money away for savings, why should Mirla have to put more money away so that they can get to their goals quicker?
If she don't want to.
When she makes twice as much money as him.
And they putting away the same amount. Make it make sense. Let me know.
Like, I don't understand why she has to sacrifice. If she's able to save and she's diligent and good at it, why should she have to sacrifice the things that she enjoys, shopping and stuff like that, so that they can get to the goal quicker when he doesn't make enough, like, as much money as her?
Ooh.
I don't understand the rationale behind that, okay? Listen, when you're with a spouse who makes that much more money than you, I'm not talking about $10 or $20 or $30,000 more than you, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you're with somebody who makes double your income.
Ooh. Ooh.
And you guys, you know, both contribute or whatever the case is. It's more complicated when only one person works, I guess. But if y'all both contribute and they make double your income, baby, if they come home with something that they can afford,
like Gucci shoes,
and y'all both are saving towards your goals and everything, everybody's doing their share, and they come home with something that they can afford to buy and you can't,
ooh,
what you gonna do? What's to be said?
nothing. Cause what you gonna say?
Let me know if I'm wrong, honey, because, let me make it clear. If we're both saving towards our goals.
Okay. Make it clear, Jazz, because they still gonna argue with you.
Why should she have to sacrifice buying her few things that she wants to buy? Because it don't look like much because I don't see the fashion.
Right, okay.
She wants to buy her one expensive thing every 45 or 60 days. What's the problem? She can do that.
She can.
I don't see the problem.
And neither do I. I'm Stevie Wonder.
Baby, my husband make more money than me. He came home with a car. What did I say? That's nice.
It was nice.
That's none of that's you bought that.
And you bought it.
And as long as I'm contributing to the household and I'm doing the things that I want to do, and I have money left over after we contribute to our goals, and I want to go out and go to Miami with my girlfriend like I did this summer, baby, and I'm going and I'm gone. And I was.
Period. In July. Go to my Instagram. Look at the pics.
Let me know what y'all think.
And what was said? Nothing.
I think that Gil's asking Mirla to sacrifice more than he has to sacrifice to get to their goals faster. It's nice, but to expect somebody to do that,
it's not really fair.
I don't know if you can expect it. Yeah, if they want to get to the goal faster, but she don't. She want to live her life.
Right.
Y'all ain't gonna agree with that, but let me know.
Let me know what y'all think. I'm interested. I'm ready. We ready for the comments.
Anyway, let's move on to the next couple.
Okay, before y'all get mad.
Let's move on to child. I guess let's move on to Zach and Michaela.
Whew. Yes.
Y'all know that the last two couples really run my blood pressure up.
Take a deep breath.
Zach and Michaela. Zach said this episode at the beginning, they started off in a therapy session. He said, I'm no longer doing this with Michaela. But you are. But anyway. Zach said he called two of his ex-girlfriends to understand how he handles conflict, so he could get confirmation on something he already knew.
Go ahead and go in on him. Go ahead.
You mean to tell me you had to call two... Let me close my book.
Please.
You mean to tell me you had to call two of your exes to talk to them about how you handle conflict so that you could feel good about the way that you handled the situation instead of just feeling confident that you handled it properly?
Right. Self-confidence.
You sound stupid, Zach. You sound dumb. And this is another example, once again,
of your immaturity.
How these couples are not ready for marriage. Ryan signing up for a dating app, disrespectful to your wife. I don't care if you guys you only got a week left.
Yeah, 7 days.
Rachel calling an ex, disrespectful.
Period.
Okay, I don't care if he locked you out. Find another ride. Zach calling two exes so that he can see how he handles conflict. Baby, do they know you better than you know you?
No.
How the hell you calling them to try to see how you handle something? That sounds backwards.
Okay.
The hell?
Crisscross to make you jump backwards.
Michaela joins into the conversation and says, You know I have abandonment issues. Michaela, at this point, it's sounding like a crutch.
Okay. 2 broken feet.
Yeah, it's giving me excuse. You have abandonment issues. Go handle them. Go to therapy. Get some counseling.
Therapy.
And here's what I'm really confused about. I don't want to judge nobody's trauma, but your father passed away.
Okay, get into it now.
That's loss. He didn't up and leave you and tell you he don't want nothing to do with you and your siblings. He passed away. You had a great influential father who was there in your life and he passed away. How is that abandoned?
Explain it to me.
Abandoned by who? You weren't abandoned. You had a severe loss in your life. And you talking about him driving away equaled his death. Girl, you really need to take accountability.
You really do.
You need to take accountability.
But she's not, though. She don't think she did anything wrong.
Child, let me tell y'all something. You are in control of your own triggers. To shout and scream, you're triggering me. Baby, if you're with somebody who's triggering you like that over and over, you need to not even be interested in being with them. And you need to go to therapy so that you can work on your own triggers and how you can manage them. Because what if your job abandoned you?
Girl.
What if your cat or your dog abandoned you, girl?
And I would.
This is life. People are going to pass away. Are they also abandoning you?
Meow.
You got to go to therapy, child. What if you're a child?
Run away.
What are you gonna do if your child run off into the room and lock themselves in the bathroom or something? Child, they abandon you too?
Yep, and she gonna go off.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
I don't get it.
She talk about I love Zach. No, you don't, baby. You don't even love yourself.
Ooh.
You can't love Zach. If you think that this is loving somebody, you're dead ass wrong. No, you're obsessed. Yeah. You are
infatuated.
You're attached.
Like
that's not love. You don't even know him. You really honestly don't. Y'all spend time arguing. You don't know that man.
A blood-sucking mosquito, honey.
She said, they flashed back to when Michaela said, he said, okay, well, if you're not going to ride back with me in the morning, I'm leaving now. She said, bye.
Go.
Bye. I go home now. And then cried about being abandoned 5 minutes later. Girl, you really need some help.
Help.
Yeah, ayúdate. Somebody needs to help her.
Girl, not the Spanish, okay?
Because this is ridiculous.
Don't let me speak Spanish on y'all.
Whew, I applauded Zach at this point for not engaging with Michaela. Because who wants to engage with somebody who's just going to keep blowing up on you? But then we get to the reneging.
Uh-oh, here we go.
And for all the white people who watch my channel, baby, do y'all say reneging? Reneging is when you go back on something you had already said. Go back on your word.
Mm-hmm.
But don't say it, though, because it sounds a lot like the N-word. Anyway.
Educational purposes only.
Michaela said, is it Zach does X, Y, and Z? So is it really me? Yes, it's your ass. Yes, it's you. It's you. It's you. Where they had that accent from? Baby, I'm from up north now. It's you. It's you.
Okay.
Yes. It's you.
Baltimore.
Ciao.
Shout out B More.
And then she had the nerve to...
Calm down.
Then she had the nerve to say she had a panic attack.
Girl.
No, baby, not a panic attack. You mean you panicked, then you attacked?
Okay.
Because that wasn't no damn panic attack. Child, get out of here. She's delusional. She needs help is what I wrote down. I said, imagine if she was with somebody who matched her energy.
Woo.
That would be an explosive and possibly physically abusive relationship. This is already some weird emotional abuse shit.
Girl.
Imagine if she was with a man who matched her energy. And you know what? Let me just get y'all together real quick.
Put your pen down.
For the people on Twitter, the women on Twitter and social media and YouTube who want to take up from Michaela.
Get them together.
Y'all probably don't take accountability for your actions either.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, Sachin.
Because to see the way that she has behaved multiple times and still think that this is somewhat justified because Zach is annoying to you. Zach is annoying. Yes, he is. He's childish. Yes, he is. He doesn't know. He doesn't even make sense when he talks. No, he does not. But baby, let me tell you something. It does not justify this sort of behavior, especially the way that she acted last episode. Nothing can justify this.
Yes, exactly.
If Ryan or Gil had run through the facility like that and tore shit up, y'all would have said, "Oh, he abusive." Y'all said Johnny was abusive, and we gonna get to it. But y'all said Johnny was abusive a few times in the comments, and he ain't even knocked shit over.
Okay, he hasn't.
But Michaela get a pass because she got abandonment issues. Please.
Miss me with it.
Anyway.
Let's move on.
Zach then asked for a closure meeting. Baby, this wasn't nothing but the producer saying, listen, y'all got 2 more episodes.
Okay.
I don't think Zach wants to be with her. I don't think he wants closure. I think that Zach probably wants some sex because we're going to get to it. And then he wants to extend it so that he can get his little check.
How much y'all say he gets? 7,000?
I don't think he's interested in being with her. He said it multiple times. The fact that she could still slightly even entertain this just shows that Michaela doesn't really have a lot of self-worth because he's told her plenty of times he didn't want to be with her, and she's just going to probably explode again.
Wow.
Michaela said, I fought for this. Yeah, we saw you.
Physically fought. Yeah.
Yeah, you literally fought. You physically fought for this. And she's giving it her all. I think they both think that they've given it their all, and they haven't. They've given nothing but dysfunction. Both of them. But Michaela on 10.
Yeah, on 100.
Oh my gosh. Zach had to say, well, you know, Zach and Dr. Pepper's crazy self. Well, what if there was a yes on decision day?
Why we are talking about it, I don't know.
Why are we even talking about this?
Right.
Why are we talking about the potential for there to be yes on decision day? Which producer said that this is a necessary conversation?
Right.
A few days ago, you didn't even want to have a conversation at all, Zach. Now you want to chat. Something ain't right.
Yeah, it's fishy.
The manipulation, the temptation, and the ignorant nation.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, then we see next episode that Zach asked Michaela to stay because he likes having sex with her. And she said yes because they're both immature. I think this is the most immature relationship I've ever seen on the show. And I've been watching a few seasons. This is the most immature relationship I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Seriously. Zach brought up sex. Apparently next episode, he brought up sex when they were with the goats. That they use sex as a way to wrap themselves back into the relationship.
Literally. Even
though, number one, Zach don't like her. And number two, Michaela is delusional.
No, but they gonna get it in and try to make up.
I think I've said everything I had to say.
Did you?
I'm just exhausted from watching them, to be honest. But let's move on to Bao and Johnny.
Another hot mess. Yeah, get you a drink, girl.
I don't know how somehow Johnny is still worse than Michaela to me. I need to check my own,
biases. I don't know, but he kind of is.
I think it's because even though Michaela has anger management issues, self-control issues, insecurity issues, and completely is like an emotional wreck, she knows, like, there's something about her not wanting to give up on Zach that lets me know that
she kind of cares.
she would be actually willing to work it out with him.
Or she's so broken that she cares.
In a way. But Johnny is just a terrible, terrible, terrible human being who is manipulative and
doesn't care about anybody but himself.
Yeah, gross. Anyway, Johnny at the beginning of his segment said, I have daddy issues. I know it. Johnny, you have more than daddy issues. You have issues, period.
All of them.
You have all sorts of issues. Not just daddy issues, baby. You have like 100 issues. If you think it's just boiled down to daddy issues, you're wrong.
Therapy.
You got regular ass issues, okay? He acts an ass every episode. I promise you. Johnny wrote the letter. I think the letter was from his mom. I think I missed that. But the letter is from his mom. I wrote, this is a negative ass letter.
And it was.
She said he's an angry kid. Maybe because his dad actually did abandon him.
Right.
Yeah, that's abandonment issues. His dad moved to California, apparently, never came back because his family didn't come with him. And his mom refused to be. And then the mom was like, don't ever come back. Which, you know what? I'm glad that our generations are starting to, or even our parents' generations are starting to not stay in marriages that don't work out for them. If it's not the best thing for you, it can't be the best thing for your kids. So go ahead and leave. But to tell the husband to never come back, what was he, abusive? What was the reason for that? What was the reason?
I'm really interested.
Because I don't agree with that. Like, you know, you can still be a single mom and have a good father around to support their child.
If he wants to be around.
But anyway, the letter said his absence is not his fault in reference to Johnny's dad. Yes, it is.
100%.
Because if he wanted to, he would.
Period.
It is his fault. What do you mean? Is it your fault then, Mom? Whose is it? And then he was saying his mom, Johnny was really talking like he blamed his mom for his dad being trash. We don't know why his daddy was trash. I don't remember. Maybe they said it in the beginning. But it seems like he had a lot of resentment towards both of his parents. Right? He resented his mom because she told his dad not to come back and because she left. Then he applauded his mom for leaving, but it seems like he really resented her for it, right? Then he resents his dad for leaving and not being there, but he also forgives his dad. Like, he wants the approval of both his parents, but he knows that they did some totally messed up stuff to him that completely, like, disoriented his childhood.
Right.
But he's not really willing to hold them accountable either. It's really weird.
Yeah, the dynamic there is odd. Click.
My dad said, Trick, my dad texted me during this episode and said, Trick, you ain't the only one who grew up without a daddy.
Oh my God.
That's just my dad's trauma coming through. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, he ain't going to therapy either, but he needs to.
Bao also, we got to see Bao's family, her poor family on 2 acres of land with a plentiful amount of trees. So many fruit trees that she got to waste them by throwing them at cars that drove by or whatever the hell she said.
Right.
I wrote down Bao the badass. She lit fires on her property and stuff like that. Listen, I don't judge Bao for that because if it was a little boy who did it and little boys do it all the time, y'all be like, oh, he's just being a boy.
Yeah, that's how y'all are. But she crazy.
Did y'all see that Bao got 8 or 9 new gray hairs at the top for dealing with Johnny ass? Because I don't remember having her having no gray hairs in the beginning. Baby, them gray hairs popped up so fast. I said, dang, Johnny will really stress you out. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we had a lot of family stuff that didn't really matter. Sarah, then we get to Sarah.
Girl, not Sarah.
Bao's friend.
And not the Sarah from your videos on Instagram either.
Johnny said that Bao's friend Sarah needed a car. She was on the market for a new car, so he spoke to her. He was supposed to be speaking to her about that. What happened to the damn car? What kind of car did she get? What did you help her with that? Or did y'all talk about my ass the whole time?
They talked about your ass, Bao.
I thought y'all was talking about a car. Y'all over here talking about how Bao is a terrible person. Okay, y'all talking about the wrong damn thing. That's the first thing I want to point out. Did she really need a car or did she lie to just get you on the phone?
Well, Johnny said they were friends, but that's irrelevant, honestly.
She said this is how Bao is in relationships. She's controlling and breaks you down and then builds you up to be the exact person that she wants to be.
Do Sarah have a man? I need to know if Sarah's single because
And it made him not want to try.
he didn't want to try anyway with his little raggedy self.
Let me tell you something, Val. Drop him off at Sarah's house then.
Immediately.
Drop his ass off at Sarah's. That's what you do. First of all, Sarah's not even a friend. Sarah is an enemy. Because if you can call up my current husband and talk crap about me,
Backstabber.
that's the first problem that I have. That is disgusting.
He's smiling in your
And then the fact that Johnny didn't hang up the phone immediately, call Bow and say, damn, let me just tell you what your so-called friend said about you. This is ridiculous.
all the time. They want to take your place. Is backstab.
He made a decision to keep it to himself until they went to counseling.
Backstab.
Drop it on Bow and then say, I believe it. I don't even want to try anymore.
Go to hell, Johnny.
It sounds like Sarah is the one breaking you down and building you to be the exact person that she wants to be. Because without any hesitation, you believed every negative thing that she said about Bow. It sounds like y'all need to be together because both of y'all deserve each other, because y'all both unstable, two-faced, backstabbing, negative people.
Negative Nancy and negative Nick.
I wish they would show Sarah on the show so we just know who she is, what type of person she is, child. Because that's ridiculous. My dad told me, well, Johnny don't like Bow. He hasn't liked Bow since she said that she don't take baths. I said, well, me and my mom said, well, he slept with her.
A few times.
My dad said, you don't have to like somebody to sleep with them. Oh, my gosh. You know what? Men will be men, child. Johnny said when he spoke to Sarah, he felt like someone finally understood what he was going through.
Yeah, because y'all both missing some bricks.
I wrote down Sarah is negative. Why is Sarah your best friend? And in the kitchen, the last conversation that they had, Johnny went into Johnny mode. He couldn't even look at Bow. He's like,
here we go.
I finally met someone who can really express the way that I feel. And can you look at me if you a man?
He not.
Be man enough.
He can't.
Okay? Look me in the eyes, okay? If you really want to tell me off and tell me that you connected so much with Sarah, which is my friend, my so-called friend, look me in the eyes and have enough respect enough and enough courage enough to tell me that in my eyes, Johnny. And Johnny can't do it because Johnny is a child. He's a kid.
A pony.
A baby. Honey, my 4-year-old nephew can communicate better than Johnny.
Whew. Here he go.
What is wrong with you? It's like he stopped developing at elementary age.
And I think you just hit the nail on the head right there. He stunted his emotional.
And did y'all see that Bow had a bruise on her arm? Listen, I don't want to make no I don't want to
say too much. But
I don't want to say too much, but why we need to check on that bruise Bow had on her arm.
Okay. Where's from?
Cuz Johnny missing a few bricks. Okay? Johnny said he's done with the conversation. If he keeps talking, he's going to say damaging things.
Like the past.
Like he always does.
Exactly.
And when Bow told Johnny, okay, Johnny, he said, keep in mind that Johnny said, I'm going to stop talking because if I keep talking, I'm going to say damaging things. Bow said, okay, Johnny, well, if you ever want to finish the conversation, I'm here. He goes, what do you mean by that?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean by that? Everything is just blame Johnny. Everything is blame Johnny. You know what? Why? Because Johnny ain't shit.
And Johnny's to blame. Johnny's to blame.
Everything is blame Johnny because Johnny's to be blamed.
Exactly.
He's to be blamed. It's your fault, Johnny. You need therapy.
Y'all know.
You need therapy. You had a village growing up. You need a village now. You need counseling.
A doctor.
Because you do not process information properly. You said you didn't want to talk to her. She said, okay, well, I'm here if you ever want to finish the conversation, and you get mad.
How that work?
Ciao. And Bao said, let me go ahead and drink this champagne, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her, honey. Drink the whole bottle, Bao.
Treat yourself. So I guess you thirsty now too.
Drink the whole bottle, girl. Like, you know what? Bao has been so strong and mature during all this. She too mature for Ryan. I mean, she's too mature for Zach. She's too mature for Zach. Plain and simple. Listen, that's all I got to say this week. And let me tell y'all something before I go. If you watch my review and I'm saying the wrong names and you can't keep up because I'm saying the wrong names, baby, I do these reviews right after the show. Y'all don't know what I've been through all day. I'm tired. And plus, I just be talking and going off. I'm going to say the wrong names. If you've been here watching my channel for a while, you know I say the wrong names all the time, babe. That's why I have the pictures here for you. But if you have the visual resources and you can't keep up, it's just too much for you because I'm saying the wrong names. Even though we got the pictures right here, baby, laugh or keep scrolling, okay?
Yeah, don't try to come for me.
Because I had a bunch of people, you saying the wrong names. I can't keep up. How you can't keep up? What you think this is a podcast? Are you listening at work and what, baby, you know who we talking about, okay? I do it in sections. But anyway, let me calm down, y'all, and let y'all go. I'm gonna see y'all. I'm gonna see y'all next week, or not next week. I'm gonna see y'all on Friday with Ready to Love, and then the Bachelor stuff will be, I'm gonna catch up on the Bachelor. It'll be out this week at some point. Thank you for your patience. Bye.